Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of the PlayStation 2 and Wii version of Sonic Unleashed. In the last part, we went through all of Jungle Joyride's night stages, and one thing that I did forget to do was to grab one of the CDs, so that's going to be the very first thing we do. We also unlocked a couple of new missions. We've unlocked the last of Sonic the Hedgehog's abilities, so we've got to go and do that little bit of training for the ability that I used multiple times already, but no, you can now go and do the training mission where you have to perform it one time. But anyway, I forgot to speak to Naji, whatever his or her name is. I'm not sure, I can't remember if it's a boy or a girl. But anyway, we get that last CD, and in this part we're going to finish off those last few missions, and then we're going to head into Arid Sands. Like I said, at this point in the game, there is a lot of Werehog. It's bad enough that they've increased the act count from 3 stages to 4. We've also got 2 sets of Werehog levels back to back. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to Apotos, however it's pronounced. Everyone pronounces it as Apotos, so I think that's probably what it is. We're going to head over to Windmill Isle, let's just call it that, and do Unleash, the ultimate Earthshaker, which is odd because we don't actually go into Unleash mode in this mission. If it's even possible. I imagine by the time I imagine that the time limit will probably run out if you've defeated enough enemies. Yeah, I mean, a minute. We're not going to fill it up that fast. I'm not sure how much of the meter needs to be filled up to use Unleashed, but I never use it that much, so it's always full by that point anyway. You probably need to have a certain amount. I know in the HD version there's like a little bar, and it will make like a little sound effect. Same sound effect that plays when you collect an item at the end of a stage in this version. You know, make that sound effect, and that tells you that you can now use your Unleash gauge. I think it's the minimum. I think that is the same as having a full meter at the minimum size the Unleash gauge can be in the HD version, and then it's just that the little white bar will be there when it grows bigger as you start upgrading Sonic. We also unlocked some stuff, or at least a mission over in Spagonia. Also, we no longer, I don't think we ever have to go back to Windmill Isle now. I believe that is the absolute last mission that we have to do over there. There's still a Gaia Gate we have to do, but in terms of missions, I believe that is now everything in Windmill Isle. The Werehog doesn't have any optional actual missions, it's all just training stuff. And we have another Collect the Rings mission. This time we're in a sewer. This is going to be the only time we ever see this type of level. But, you know, every video game's got to have a sewer level, so we've got to include it somewhere. The HD version did it, so naturally we have to do it as well. I think it's a sewer. Is this a sewer? Can't miss that item box. They give you plenty of rings here, which is probably a good thing because of how abysmally I play this level. No, seriously, I play this level terribly. Got some quick step stuff here. Avoid the rockets. Just see me fail again and again and again. What happened there? I guess I must have just very slightly tapped the shield as I quick stepped. But yeah, we got plenty of rings there. Again, I kind of wish that we had actual levels out of some of these things. I don't know if it was because they were cut for time. I don't know how long this version was in development for. I don't know anything about this game's development history, but I think it was like they spent a year developing the Hedgehog engine, and then the other year like actually developing the game, which kind of shows because Sonic Unleashed HD, despite it being my favorite for casual playing, certainly not for 100%. It is one of the glitchiest 3D games. I'd argue that it's just as glitchy, if not glitchier than 06. Because I've never found 06 to be that glitchy. I've had the odd few things here and there. I mean, in my Let's Play, I fell through the floor. but I've never really encountered that many glitches. At least not by accident. You know, again, I bring this up all the time, really. People say that 06 is really glitchy because they're actively causing the glitch. And, you know, that's just not fair. The glitches shouldn't be there. I know that. But it's not exactly fair judgment if you are causing the glitch yourself. Now, this is weird. I need to go to Palm Tree Square. But I also feel the need to talk to everybody else. There we got a new guy here. This is Mused. Mused. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. I'm guessing that he is possessed. That's all I can think of. He has no reason to be there. He's just there. So we go over to Palm Tree Square and we can talk to Esan. We tell him we're going to Arabat, despite the fact that we have just been to Arabat. And what that does, weirdly, is that now means that we can go over to the food market, once we've spoken to Layla, because it says new, not that it really tells us anything. I'm aware I have a long way to go, thank you, Leela. So now we can go over to the food market. And now we can talk to Erhan. And look at this. He tells us to talk to his father, Esan. Seems to have taken a shine to you. Thinks of you as his own grand... We've spoken to him twice. How can he see us as his grandkids? We've spoken to him twice, and one of those was just a few seconds ago. And that means we can now go back to Esan and talk to him again. You've been expecting it. You were just speaking to us. Why didn't you just tell us all of this then? I don't think you normally have to do this if you do Arid Sands first. I could have sworn this is all available from the beginning. I might be misremembering, because I think this is the first time I think I've ever gone over to Jungle Joyride and then Arid Sands. You know, I'm normally in Shamar anyway. I don't really need to go over to Arabat. I think it takes you back to the world map anyway, but I tend to just take care of Arid Sands first. It's like the first time I've ever done Jungle Joyride before Arid Sands. But I'm pretty sure it normally just unlocks a food market anyway. So I decided to go over and talk to Erhan again. He gave us something he doesn't know what it is. We are never going to see him again. Once you have restored Shamar, I don't even think he appears before you face the boss. I think he just disappears after this. And we'll never see him again. I think you might see him in like, some of the last cutscenes, but in terms of speaking to him, we'll never see him. He never appears again. And there's actually a bit of a continuity difference there between the HD version and the SD version. Erhan, I don't think is related to Esan in the HD version. I can't remember who his father is. But I'm pretty sure the relationship is different between the HD and the SD version. Not sure how, because you think that they definitely have similar names. But, you know, loads of people can have similar names. I've met loads of people called Jack. We're certainly not related. If you think as video game lore, that would be how it works. And in this version, it does. Still can't access any of these doors. It takes a while before you can get into any of Shamar's. I know it's kind of late into the game, but still. Not as bad as Jungle Joyride. I don't think we're not going to be accessing any of Jungle Joyride or Arabat's doors until after we've beaten the game. You can do it, but that requires me to just leave Eggman Land, and why would I do that? Yeah, I'm just going to go straight to Eggman Land from start to finish. By the way, these loading screens are shorter on the Wii version. So generally it is just the Wii game. Everything has just been downgraded. Sonic's got different models, especially the Werehog. It looks freaking ugly. But other than that, it's like, and everything is sort of like washed out. Like, I don't think graphically anything is like the textures are any different. But the textures are the same. I think they're just at a lower resolution. Especially water. I know water is at a lower resolution. Kind of like Sonic 06 in that regard, where the PS3 version the water looks different compared to the 360. The water actually has a surface on PS3, but as a result, the 360 version looks better. I mean, in Kingdom Valley, that PS3 version just looked like it was a load of goo. I have an Earthshaker now. You are nothing to me. So welcome to the City of Sand. The only night stage that we're actually going to be doing in the village itself. This is our desert area. It's the Middle East. So of course, most of this level takes place in a desert. I mean, the HD version did that as well. It's like the first half of the stage takes place in the city, and then the second half, if you can even call it half, it's more like a third, but that takes place outside the city in the desert, which is then explored more thoroughly in like the DLC stages. Get onto the box past me. And then I should pay attention to the radar, because it's clearly telling me there is something to the side, or something downwards I should say, and we can grab our item box. So overall, Shamar's night stages, or Arid Sands night stages, whatever you want to call it, are a bit longer than Jungle Joyride, unfortunately. We're not going to be seeing every single one in this one video. With the stuff we had to do beforehand, this video would be like 50 minutes long. The only video that has the right to be that long is whenever I do the... No, hang on. I was going to say if I ever did the HD version and did the hot dog mission in Eggman Land. But whenever we get to that, I'm only showing off the level 3 missions. So no, that video will not be 50 minutes long. I imagine some of the S-rank videos would be like that. Because every Sonic game that I do for this channel, I want to be a 100%. Even though I haven't 100%ed every Sonic game, but hopefully by that point I will have done it. I mentioned in like the previous part, I'm currently on a mission. 100% every 3D Sonic game. By spinning a wheel and then playing them in a randomly chosen order. I'm currently on the second one, Shadow the Hedgehog. This was the first one, because I needed to do this as practice. Who knows what it'll land on next. It could be nice to me, it could be mean to me. A part of me wants to just get secret rings out of the way. But another part of me is also thinking, it's Sonic and the Secret Rings. I don't want to play Sonic and the Secret Rings. I can't play... you don't play Secret Rings. You just tilt the controller and hope it works. And press a button and hope it works, and then the game does the rest of the work for you. But yeah, and the main way that I'm just going to be doing this is a slightly different, as was Heroes. Heroes I just did every stage in order, S rank, A rank on the first tries. I was playing it live, so anytime there was an awkward transition in the loading screens, or between parts for the extra missions, that's just where I failed the A rank. That's because I can do that with Heroes. And I played it live. The video quality sucks because I didn't have my HDMI upscaler. But that was simple enough. For this game, I wanted to see if I could get the S rank and all of the items in every level, and I'm hoping that's what I'm doing. There are some additional menus on the world map that allow you to see all of the items you've collected. I haven't actually gone to the menu. So I'm sort of just hoping that I've collected everything. I was a bit terrified, because generally the day stages have about 3 item boxes in them. I was really nervous when I did Jungle Joyride, because I only collected 2, but it turns out no, there is just 2. So I'm happy about that, that means I got it. Night stages sort of just vary stage by stage, especially since some are longer than others. Sonic, where are you going? But the general way I'm going to be doing this is play through the story, and then take care of everything else. So from colours onwards, especially seeing as colours, you can't even get the S ranks or the red rings on your first visits to certain levels, because you need to go to a specific area to unlock certain wisps. I think it's like there's 1 wisp per area. I know the DS version did that. Wii might be different because there's more wisps. It's like you're not gonna have the drill in Tropical Resort. You gotta go to I forgot what it's called. the dessert one, the one that's filled with giant cakes and everything. Sweet Mountain, that's the thing. You gotta go to Sweet Mountain to get the drill. You gotta go to Planet Wisp to get the spikes. So you can't get all the red rings and S ranks on your first try. By endgame you can, but there's no point in bothering with that. So I'm just going to try and complete the story. Doesn't really matter if I collect any red rings on the way, because Colors is like one of the few games where you can recollect the red rings. Showcase the red rings, showcase the S ranks. I think it's possible to get all of the S ranks and red rings in one go. There are a few stages that you need to play twice to get all of the red rings, because they split off into 2 paths. That's the only annoying ones. Other than that, simple enough. And then that's just how I basically do it. So it'll vary a bit between game by game. So like Lost World, I'd probably just go after all of the red rings as I go along, and then it would be the time trials that I gave up on. So I go after all the red rings throughout the story. Do the hidden world, that pointless hidden world that has no purpose to exist. And then do all of the S ranks. And just end the game in that really bizarre way. A lot of them will be very anticlimactic endings, because you don't get anything for 100% in most games. And then you have the big ones. So it's like with Generations, it would just be try to get all of the S ranks on the first try. Same with the red rings, but Generations is the worst when it comes to repeating levels, because you have to play Sky Sanctuary Act 1 3 times to get a different red ring at the end. That sort of thing is annoying, and I've got to try and get all of the S ranks in every single mission. That's simple enough. I can just have I can go through the stages, get the S ranks, gather any leftover red rings, and then I can just do all 30 missions per area before doing the rival and boss fights. And then do the hard mode versions of the rivals and boss fights. Yeah, that's about it really. Probably be like 1 part per set of challenges, so 1 part for Green Hill Zone's classic challenges, 1 part for modern challenges. Same with Chemical Plant, same with Sky Sanctuary, then Metal Sonic, then the Death Egg Robot, and then we move on to Speed Highway. So all very simple, but then we have the big boys. Unleashed, HD, 06, and Shadow. And there is so much to do in the HD version of this game. So it's, again, just go through the story first. But there's also a matter of collecting the medals. Now the medals, again, they stay where they are. You can recollect them. So that's not too big of an issue when it comes to showcasing where the medal locations are. It's just a bit weird that I collect some medals in the main playthrough and not all of them. But I don't think it's even possible to collect them all on your first try in some stages, because you need certain abilities. Or the path splits in 2. And then we have the hot dog missions, where I'll probably only showcase the level 3 missions for that. There's no other reason to showcase anything else. There's all of the S ranks, the main stages, the extra stages, the god-awful DLC stages. And again, I don't know how to handle that. I could probably do like 1 part dedicated to all the day stages. The recording process will probably be about 2 hours per DLC day stage. But other than that, that's how it can work for the final video. It's just going to be a pain in the ass to record it all. I'd use up my entire computer set, my entire laptop's hard drive just on Dragon Road Act 2 too. Because unfortunately I've only got half the hard drive now, and it's got everything saved on it, so I don't want to replace it, damn it. I don't know, I know nothing about how technology works. I lost the hard drive when the laptop stopped working after an update. Which is why my Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy got delayed. Not that it means anything. But that got delayed. And they replaced it with a new hard drive, but the hard drive was only half a terabyte. Whereas originally it was a whole terabyte. So I'm working with half the size for these games. Which is annoying, but nothing I'll lose hair over, although I did have to use up a load of space when making that top 15 3D Sonic games video. Which took me about 8 months to make. It was only a little tester to see how Audacity worked, because the Windows 10 voice recorder kept glitching out. So I was like, right, let's try this with Audacity. And let's just use this little thing as a little tester. Oh, it's taken me 8 months. That's a lot of spikes, and somehow this nightmare is still alive. What else does Unleashed HD have? So what I do is I probably do like one video dedicated to all the day stages, and I probably need like 2 videos for the night stages. Even though the DLC ones aren't as long, they're long enough. As is, except for the in-game, except the most of the in-game ones. I hate it when these ledges are on these angles like this, because you think I'm holding right. I'm not. I have to hold up in order to get him to move, because he's at a slightly upwards angle. Same here, I have to hold down. Not left, down. I really hate that. It happens a lot, and it's really confusing. And then there's all the other collectibles in Unleashed. I don't know how I'd show that off. All the art books, all of the videotapes, all of the records. I don't know why the HD version goes to the older ones. But then again, this version's got the actual film reels. Which I want to say makes a bit more sense, but I don't know. Alright, this item's kind of annoying, because you've got to go across this really narrow wall. So I recommend you just tap forwards, just make sure you leave space, otherwise Sonic's just going to dash. When you get to this fatter area of the wall, you can grab hold of this Dark Gaia bat, and it'll take you over to the item box. An 06. That'd be the same thing, I imagine. Story. Maybe grab the silver medals as I'm going through the story. Maybe. Not sure. Especially when some of those silver medals are going to be a lot harder without some of your upgrades. And we have the town missions. And that's pretty much going to be how I did it the first time round. But then I also want to actually get the S ranks this time, rather than the abysmal playing of my first playthroughs of most of those DLC stages. But no, they'd be full on S ranks like I do it per stage. So we do Sonic's Way version. So I'd show off normal mode, I'd show off hard mode, and I'd show off very hard mode. The next video would be Dusty Desert, it's the same thing. And that's pretty much how it's going to go down, and then I'd probably end with like a run of all the boss fights, and then do that again with the boss attack DLC, and then Team Attack Amigo, and then we'd end it there. I don't think I'll save the last story to the very end this time. The adventure games for Chow, I have no idea. I really have no idea, because I don't care about the Chow system. I've done it, I've 100%ed both adventure games, but I don't want to do it again. Unless I got my hands on a Sega Dreamcast and played the Dreamcast versions, I never want to do the Chow stuff again. Because SA2 took me 80 hours. Without having to worry about the Chow, it took me 35. Oh, I'll probably rant more about this when we continue on with Arid Sands night stages in the next part. So I will see you guys then.